Let's go. Welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Emoji. I'm here with my co host, OMW, Nikki G, and we're bringing you a show we like to call Anime After Hours. We cover anime all the time, pretty much every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today we try, right? Today we are talking anime resurgence. So once again, this is an interactive podcast, right? So anyone that is in the space, we are live in X Spaces right now. If you aren't on X right now, feel free to follow any of those handles that you see in the corner. If you are on YouTube, if you are on Twitch, follow us over there. You can jump into the space and you can actually be a part of the show. You can contribute, you can have your voice heard. Also, anyone that is in a space right now, feel free to come up because we are talking modern anime. We are talking about what's popular right now. We are talking about potentially a new anime renaissance. I think it's safe to say we're probably in one, but we'll get to that during the discussions. In the meantime, we have a special announcement from our affiliate partners. So sit tight, and we will be right back after a word from our partners, VV Digital Collectibles. Hey, what's up? My name is Emoji, and I'm here with Nikki G and OMW, and we're bringing you Anime After Hours. But before we do that, I want to give a brief shout out to our affiliates, VV Digital Collectibles. VV is the world's home of premium collectibles, comics, and artworks from brands that you love, like Viz Media, Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, and more. Take your collecting to the next level with VV Digital Collectibles and check out the link in our description box below or use the QR code that you see on the screen for $10 off your first purchase.
This is an interactive show and podcast recorded live in front of an online audience. Those in the crowd on X are welcome to join in on the conversation, but know that all conversations that take place during the show will be published across multiple platforms. With this being a live interactive show and podcast, please be mindful of your speech.
And now, let's get back to the show. All right, we are back. We are back at it again. Welcome once again for everyone that is here. How does my horn sound? Is my horn okay? Is that glitching too or not? Like everything is just cooked. It's good. Okay. What about the yay? That is very important. Really, it's just the music. That is so weird. You know what? It's all right. No worries, no worries. It is what it is. But welcome. Like, how are you guys feeling? I know it's been a couple weeks since we had the show last, but how's everything? How's life? Blues. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, there you go. So you got something coming up to be for us a little bit of excitement in life. Um, What in the world? Oh Lord. Okay, this is why. Hold on real quick. I gotta cook I gotta cook my chat. Okay, let's do that. We'll put you in a timeout. All right, there you go. Actually, I'm gonna remove you. All right. So Nikki, OMW, how are you doing, bro? That is true. I feel you. I feel you. Shout out. I see Gon Freeze in the chat. It says hello, welcome, welcome, welcome to Anime After Hours. Once again, for everyone in here, this is an open forum show. So anyone that wants to come in and weigh in, the topic, feel free to send up that request to come and you can be a part of the show. The topic for today is the anime resurgence, right? It feels like, and I don't know, if you guys have been seeing this on the timeline or just in different discussions, it feels like there's a buzz. It feels like there's a lot going on with, we have a lot of anime that's doing, it's getting pretty popular, right? We discussed how Demon Slayer was killing the box office, followed by I know Chainsaw Man got amazing reviews as well. But you even have influencers now. You have Mr. Beast changing his PFP to Luffy. You have, well, Speed has always been a One Piece fan, but it feels like there's more happening now just I guess in pop culture, but maybe also just content create in the content creation realm that's bringing more of a light to anime. I don't know. Do you guys feel that way? Or is it just me, or do you guys kind of like feel that way too? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what? That's true. And I think about even on X, right? A lot of anime that I've watched have been things that were just clips, and I was like, oh, this animation looks cool, or just this scene looks cool. Like, let me check it out further, and that's how I discovered anime. Like Link Click, that was one, and a few others too. But yeah, you're right about that. I do want to just sign up because I forgot to mention this before for our audience. I do want to let them know the giveaway rules criteria so they can have that in the back of their mind as the show goes on. Dub, you did post the doors at the top, right? Okay. In the lead. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. The culture. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. No. No. 100%. 100%. And I actually would want to touch more into that as well too, as far as like even just um the culture behind anime and that. But I do want to go. Let me go over the rules real quick for the giveaway, and then we can dive into it because I want to get into all of this. So for everyone in the space. All right, so we still have two potential giveaways remaining. One definite giveaway and a second potential giveaway. So I'll go over the rules real quick on how you guys can possibly win that. The main giveaway that we have that we will do at the end of the night is our hidden door giveaway. So if you look at the top of the space, the very top is the first thing that was pinned up to the top. I think, right? The first thing? Yeah, I think the first thing. Anyway, it's yeah, first thing at the top, you'll see hidden door number 1, hidden door number 2, and hidden door number 3. Now, behind one of those doors is going to be the way that we choose the winner for tonight. You, as an audience, are going to choose what door we go into, and at the end, we'll announce how we're going to determine the winner. Now, there could be three possible ways of how someone could win the giveaway tonight. One could be by liking and reposting the X space that you're in right now, liking and reposting that. A second way is by liking and reposting the live stream. That is the visual component that is a part of this space. It is also pinned to the top. It's the one where you see me waving and doing stuff. Hi, if you're on the live stream. The third way is in the comments section of the live stream. Tag one person and tell us your favorite anime or animated thing. Now, if that is the one that's chosen, each comment is an entry, meaning the more comments you have, the more possibilities you have to win because that's more entries. So those are the three possible ways of winning. How can you guarantee that you're at least entered into the giveaway no matter what door is chosen? Well, by doing all three. So that is the hidden door giveaway. We will announce that in about 30 minutes, did you say? Around there? Should we be around 30 minutes on Dub? 33 minutes left. Okay, all right. So in about 33 minutes, we will announce that. So feel free to cast your vote for the doors at the top. If there is a tie, we're going to choose the one with the least engagement because we believe in rewarding those that pay attention. Now, the surprise giveaway. If you look at the top, and I think, did you put it in the comments too? Well, it's at the top. If you look at the top, there's an influencer that is there, his pinned tweet up there. If you guys, by tagging him in the comment section, letting him know to pull up, if you guys are able to bring him into the space, and if OMW or Nikki G at any point during the show see his PFP pop into this space, that will unlock an additional giveaway for you guys. And real quick, big shout out to VVNFT Comics. I see you in the chat. What's good? Welcome. Yeah, so if you guys can get him in the space, right? Tag him, tell him to pull up, whatever you need to do. If his PFP pops in, that will unlock a second giveaway. So those are the two ways of winning giveaways tonight. If anyone has any questions, feel free to send them the request too. I don't mind answering questions. But once again, this is an open forum. Anyone that wants to join in on the conversation, we are talking the anime resurgence, popularity, this, recent boost in popularity of anime. If you want to talk about as far as what, even what got you into anime and what you've been seeing on a timeline or on your socials that has been buzzing, feel free to send up that request. We would love to hear from you. But you guys were talking as far as the short clips, right? The short clip nature of, I guess, getting people's attention. Now, I feel like that has kind of like been a thing even just across the board with social media, right? A lot of just content creators grow off of, short form content where, you kind of like just get a taste. And like I said, in my defense, I discovered anime I probably would have never even seen. I would have never watched Link Click had it not been a short little clip I saw online, or even To Be Hero X. I probably wouldn't have watched that either. Um, what are your thoughts on that? Right, of kind of like that way of piquing people's interest. Because I know Nikki, you have a lot of thoughts as far as even with just this whole um resurgence. Hmm. True. True. That's true. That's true. Dub, did you have any thoughts on it? Hmm. I mean, you've had AI dubbing. I don't know if you saw the Amazon. It did. It did. True, true. And that was like the simul dubbing is what blew my mind, right? Because you have things that are coming out the same time that it premieres in Japan, which obviously, they have to have it early to do that, which is, completely different from, especially if you came in, to anime in like, the 90s and 2000s where you were kind of waiting for, the dub to come out or waiting for it to, even just be released in out west. But I mean, it's interesting because both of you guys touch on a really good point as far as just the amount of things that's being released. And a lot of times when you have that, right, when you have a large surplus of things all being released, the biggest question is, well, what do I watch, right? What do I get into? And even just jumping into Crunchyroll, you have a whole library of things, and that's only one area, right? You have Netflix, which is also has a huge anime library, and you have Disney, right? Disney Plus and Hulu, which also, even though they don't promote it, have an extensive library of anime. And sometimes, true, 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 true. And you could get those super expensive Blu-rays on Right Stuff. Yeah. Um, but they have. I ended up buying like I think they were like $300 Your Line April Blu-rays. It was only like literally only 22 episodes. But yeah, so you have that, and that causes an issue, that causes a dilemma, especially like what to watch next. And I find that it's those little clips have helped me discover things. Like, granted, I have you know places I go to when it comes to, all right, well, what anime recommendations I'll watch Mother's Basement anime recommendations of the year, and I'll discover things like that. But there are certain things that I literally just discover from the clip. I look at it and I'm like, this looks cool. Let me check this out. And sometimes I'm actually I'm surprised. Uh, but speaking of discovering things, right? I find too that because of that, you run into issues where things that you may like might get buried, right? And I'll give you an example. There was an anime that I watched that it's on Hulu, and they didn't even bother to give it the, like, it's dubbed. You could watch it dubbed, but they didn't bother giving it the English name. It's called Tengoku Daimakyu, but the English translation would be Heavenly Delusion. But it was like an amazing show, and it was so hidden, right? Like, I only found it from just this random review that popped up in my feed, but I would have never discovered that. And that's another part of it, right? When things become mainstream, or things become super popular, like, yeah, you're gonna get hit with your One Piece, you're gonna get hit with your My Hero Academias, your Jujutsu Kaisens, and things like that. But there's also a lot of things that kind of stay buried and stay hidden in that. Yeah, I mean, you guys get what I'm saying? Hmm. True, true. But what I will say is sometimes those, when it comes to content and promotion, that might have more reach. You know. Yeah. Hmm. True. True. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. But Dub, yeah. It's. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. A lot of sports collapse. Yeah, a lot of sports collapse. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The full scope. Yeah. Yeah. No, I. Yeah. It's I I get you. I get you 100%. And it's so crazy because that's one of the biggest things that I lead with, right? Like when I try to, bring people into anime, the biggest thing that I'll try to explain to people, right? Especially out west, right? Because I think that that's and we've covered it in past episodes, the mentality out west that cartoons are for kids, right? But the biggest thing I try to tell people is that when it comes to anime is just a medium of storytelling, right? Just like a book. It is kind of like asking, a broad question. It's like someone saying I don't like books, right? Well, what type of books are you referring to? And I feel it's the same thing when it comes to anime. It's like because it's the medium of storytelling, you have different types of stories fit for different types of people depending on what the demographic is, who the audience is. It's just instead of real people or instead of printed words on a page, it's animated. But I do feel you on that. But I also do feel OMW on the aspect as far as the onboarding because sometimes, right, like in order to open up someone's eyes, you may have to kind of hit them with things that may appeal to them in certain ways. And I'll give you an example, right? The MCU, right? Before the MCU became what it was, I mean, Marvel was dying. Marvel was giving out its IP left and right, all over the place and stuff. They weren't doing well. And the MCU came out and it created something that turned people that had no interest of looking into comic books, no interest into reading comics, into fans of that fandom and of that space. Now, were they relatively basic stories in comparison to the overall lore of where these comics, how far of course, but it was a starting point that kind of got people more involved. And we saw that growing up, right? Like a lot of people, and a lot of people came into anime during that renaissance back in the 90s from Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon, right? Very basic shows, but it was something that introduced them. And I see that again now. I see that again now. And granted, yes, it is more on the kid friendly side. We also don't know where that'll lead down the line as they continue to dive further into anime. Mm. Yeah, yeah. That's that's another. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, specifically this last phase has been pretty rough. But I mean, I'm talking about as far as even just leading up to it, right? Like, but there is that slippery slope. I get you. There's that slippery slope of as far as becoming so focused where you're focused on the people as opposed to the product, and you get things that are more mainstream, more things that are cookie cut, right? And we see that in music too, right? Especially pop music. So yeah, no, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. Um, I think it's a double edged sword. It's a double edged sword. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, they just concluded season one of One Piece at over 1,100 episodes. I feel you. I feel you. But yeah. Oh, okay. Ooh. Yeah, they might have issues. I tried to highlight their PFP and then it disappeared. So, wait, I see someone requesting. Are they requesting again? Welcome, Crypto AJ. You just gotta unmute unless they're still having issues. Yeah, yeah, we see you up, but it's you're muted. You're listed as muted. So if you're having issues, I guess try and come back and dip down and come back. Mhm. Oh, I mean that was expected. That was expected. I haven't watched it yet, but I planned on watching it tonight if I can. I did see okay, so I heard the new opening because I played it while I was driving and I saw bits and pieces of the new opening. But I did, speaking of clips, right? I did actually see a clip of it online. And it looked the animation looked really dope, like really interesting. What did you think of the song, Nikki, or the opening? Okay. 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 So also I wanted to because there was actually another anime that I watched recently that just dropped on Netflix, and you guys could let me know if you saw it or not. 100 meters. Have you guys seen that? Okay, it's a movie. Hmm? Yeah, it's a movie. But it's pretty much about track and field. It's a drama, but I really enjoyed it. I think the animation was interesting because it had a very it was changing, right? And and I think that that's another part about anime. And Nikki, you talk about as far as things that may be harder, I guess, for the West to grasp. When it comes to animation, it can be more avant-garde, right? Like it may not, depending on the show, it may not stick with the same type of style. It can be changing. It can be more interpretive. It can be more abstract, um, and just more artistic, right? And I think that that is something that also I mean, it's beautiful, but it's different. It's different from your traditional Western animation, which may have the same type of style too. Do you guys think that that plays a role as well, as far as the uniqueness as far as the art itself? Hmm. Well, but hmm. Hmm. Company. Yeah, I agree with you too, Nikki. Unless it's like Disney buys Warner Brothers, but now, I mean, honestly, right now it's looking more like Netflix, right? I'm not sure as far as with the whole thing between Netflix and Paramount, but I think it's Netflix. So you know, yeah, unless they were bought out by Disney, then I don't see that happening. But stay separate. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think it would be kind of like a Marvel Star Wars situation, right? Like they're under the same umbrella. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there has been crossovers. They've already done crossovers in the comics and things like that. So, but but yeah, I mean, but there's also good, there's great things about competition, right? And I think with those, because they're so in the same line of things, that the competition actually helps both brands. But mhm, 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 mhm. Mhm. Okay, okay. Well, appreciate it. Um, but real quick, I just want to go over and let everyone else know, just as a recap. Dub, how are we doing on the doors? Okay. All right, you guys got 60 seconds to choose the door that we're going to go into. Remember, behind one of those doors is going to be the way that we win, that you win the, could potentially win the giveaway for today. It can be by either liking and reposting the space, by liking and reposting the live stream, which is pinned on the top of the space, or in the comment section of the live stream, tagging one person and telling us your favorite anime or animated thing. One of those ways are going to be the way of winning, and that will be announced at the end. But in order to guarantee your entry into all possible ways of winning, I would say do all three. You guys have less than 60 seconds to do that. I do want to ask real quick while we have Crypto AJ on the stage. Welcome once again. Are you into anime? If so, what are you into? Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you into horror? Is that why? Like, are you into horror, or are you talking about kind of like action and violence? Okay. All right. All right. Well. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. 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 So So we've been talking about anime, we're talking about kind of like the popularity, and it's funny you mentioned as far as you being into it like in the past 2 years, because we've been seeing a increase of people just coming into anime and diving in. But it's kind of like, okay, well, where do we start? A lot of the things that have been mainstream have been shown in and stuff like that, but it's very interesting because you bring up horror. Now I know Nikki is a huge fan of the horror genre. So, Nikki, right, for someone jump relatively new, right, what would you recommend, like in the horror genre, that they might not, come across because it might not be the main thing that's promoted out there, but that you think, people will fall in love with? Manga. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Um, what is that streamable on like any of the? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna check that out too, because I do tend to like horror stuff. There was another one that was on my I put it on my watch list because I saw good reviews from it. Uh it's on Netflix. Death of is it Death of Hikaru, or hold on. The summer Hikaru died. Oh. But I heard it was scary though. I heard it was scary. Okay. Mhm. Got it, got it, got it. But yeah, I am looking for horror stuff, so I will check out another. Mhm. Okay, okay. Hmm. Interesting, interesting. All right, yeah. I think I'll check some of them out too, and maybe we could have like a horror show. I think that would be cool. That would be fun. So I think we should be done with the doors, right? Oh snap. Okay. All right. So let me look in our messages and see what was behind hidden door number 3. I see it. I see it. All right. Okay. So what we'll do is this. Hold on real quick. Let me jump over to here. And I'm going to start pulling the winner behind hidden door number 3. Now remember, I did say at the outset of the space the criteria of entering into the giveaway. The doors have closed, so I'm not going to say it again. So you would have had to been paying attention. I'm gonna find out what was behind door number 3, and we will find out the winner for the giveaway. Now we did not see our mystery guest pop in, did we? OMW or Nikki? Okay. All right. So then we have one giveaway, unless they pop in before we close the space. But we have one giveaway remaining, which is going to be the hidden door challenge. Now, while I pull that up, um, Let's do this. Let's do this. Nikki, I would like, if you're down for it, if you're down for it, I would like for you to, people are coming into anime, right? And they're coming into anime by whatever way, shape, or form it is, right? And the odds are it's probably something popular, right? Something that is mainstream, something that is pushed to them, like anything, right? We can look at music like that, and anything. And sometimes when you come across someone that is heavy into, interest into what's popular and stuff like that, especially those that may be deeper into things and deeper into just the subject, right? I keep going back to music because it's obviously something that we know, right? And you're like, well, no, you should check out this band, or you should check out this, and they're more underground, but you should check out this. What I want you to do while I find these find the hidden door, would you like to give kind of like an underground pitch of things for people to check out, right? Especially if they're just coming into anime, because I mean, you know what's bringing people into anime, right? Your shonen genre and stuff like that. While I do this, you think you could do like an underground pitch to tell people like what to check out and why they should check it out? Okay, I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that answer. And 100%, it is 100% the culture. It's everything that's involved, and the more that you kind of like delve into it, when it comes to the cons, when it comes to the manga, when it comes to the art, when it comes to just the experience, even food, right? Like food, like, and yeah, yeah, I feel you 100%, 100%. And I think that is one of the things that really hooks you into the overall space, right? Um, it's one of the reasons why I want to go to Japan so badly, right? That's one of the ideas. Have you been to Japan, Nikki? No? Okay. But yeah, it's one of the reasons why I want to go to Japan so badly. And Kenshin was one of the shows that kind of like just made me really want to go. But yeah, yeah, I enjoy this. Hold on, let me see. I'm just gonna shout out Lexi in the chat. She said, "Are there certain ones you would start watching in the middle, like say you just come across it and start and understand it all? And are there certain ones you should start from the beginning?" Okay. Um, what do you think, Nikki? Hmm. That's a sweet spot. Yeah. Hmm. But you know what's funny? As popular as One Piece is, that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people don't jump in, right? Like I've been watching anime for years now. I haven't finished One Piece yet. I mean, I'm still watching it, but like I haven't finished it because. Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Hmm. Yeah, I think because anime tends to be so serialized, and that was another difference, right? Especially between Western and anime. Um, it being so serialized, it's harder to kind of like just pick up in the middle, as opposed to if you were just watching, Batman the animated series and just started watching in the middle, like you're fine with that. But yeah, like a lot of anime tend to be shorter now, so it is easier to. Most of the times, you're just gonna start watching, and because it's streamable, right? Like I think that was more so a problem when you were watching it on TV, like because it. Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. But yeah, I would say definitely, start, if you can, start at the beginning, and maybe even if you're looking, like look for things that are short, because a lot of those short but sweet animes are some of my favorites. Um, I don't even know if I have that many favorites that are actual long animes. Most of them are in that kind of like 20 episodes, maybe 50 episodes, like sweet spot. But all right. Dub, did you have anything to add before I call the winner? Definitely, definitely appreciate you for coming through, man. For sure. And I hope you check out some of those anime. Another, and then what was the other one that you said, Nikki? When They Cry. And then if you do, like, hit me up. Like, hit me up on the timeline. Just tag me and let me know what you think, because I would be interested in hear your thoughts if you watch it. Okay. All right. Bet. Cool. 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 All right, are we ready? Are we ready to find out the what was behind door number 3? All right, if you feature eyes to the live stream, I'm going to pull this live in real time so you can see right now. So, what was behind door number 3? And
Five, four, three,
it was likes and reposts of the live stream. Likes and reposts of the live stream. That is how we are determining the winner. Up and VV Digital Collectibles won, which they can't. So we are going to re-roll it again. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Who is the winner? Dang. I can't believe this, bro. This is crazy. All right. Well, first they have to be here. Um, anyone that can see the live stream, if you're watching a live stream, then you should at this point see who the winner is, or the potential winner is, if they are in a space. Is Majin Jesus in the space? Is he here? All right. Well, there you have it. Rolled in real time here. Shout out to the luckiest person on earth.
Yay!
Majin Jesus, you have won the giveaway. Well, yeah. All right. So, before we close up, any thoughts? I you know what, Nikki? Welcome to Spaces. Welcome to X Spaces. I know you normally do a lot of things on YouTube, but you know what's funny, and this is what I was pitching you to before when I was talking about as far as live streaming, but doing it from Spaces, because this is a level of engagement that you don't get from from Twitch or from YouTube, because you're dealing with the chat, right? And this is in real life conversation that it would happen if you just went outside and just talked to people, right? And I think capturing that makes for really unique content. So yeah, no, I'm glad, and I'm glad also too that there's differences of opinions, right? And that's why I think that us as hosts work together, work really well, because you bring a completely different dynamic to the conversation because of your own background and your preferences. And I think that that's dope to kind of get a good overall scope of what anime is, and just the entire culture behind it. So yeah, nah, I appreciate that. OMW. Oh, Nikki, did you want to say anything? Okay. OMW, did you want to say anything before we close up? Yo, why? He could come up. He could come up, but yo, like, why the last minute? All right, hold on. Wait, why is this? My computer's glitching. All right, is he up? Nas, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good, good. How are you? You're breaking up. Yeah, you're good now. We did. We talked about as far as we kind of like just covered this whole Renaissance in general. Um, not to go and like not to retrack and dive into everything, but we talked about as far as just this popularity that we've been seeing, as of late, of these past few years, and just what that could mean, the pros and the cons, right? So we weighed out both, because once again, once anything gets popular, there it's a give and take. But yeah, no, we did touch on One Piece, because One Piece is one thing that's also getting a lot of recognition right now. Anytime, anytime. Appreciate you for coming through. And yeah, definitely dial back on the recap. And I would say dial back on the visual component too, right? Because yeah, it's, well, one, it's gonna sound better. Um but but yeah, it's also part of the experience. But yeah, if you dial back, then let me know. go. Awesome, awesome. No, no, you're good. You're good. I gotta dive into that too. So that's one of the things on my list as well. So appreciate that. She also recommend if you want some more recommendations, she recommended another and Nikki, you're gonna have to tell me that again. I'm gonna actually tell you to text it to me because but they're like horror. So if you wanna be scared, check out those. Awesome. And appreciate you, Nas, for stopping through. Thanks, man. All right. So we're gonna close up. We did name our winner for today. Shout out Majin Jesus in the building. And once again, for everyone here, we do have the potential of 3 giveaways each show, right? The first giveaway happens at the pre show. I set the number earlier in the space. Today, the number was 24. So if we would have gotten 24 people in the space in the first 30 minutes, that would have unlocked the giveaway. And also, we have a giveaway for a special guest appearance if they pop through, if you guys are able as a crowd to get them to come through. That would open another giveaway. And then we have our main giveaway, which is guaranteed every single show that Majin won today. So next show, next week, you guys do have the potential of winning 3 giveaways. So stay tuned, because if you meet all 3 criteria, then a salute to you. But as we close up, I think you guys said all final words, right? Like we're good, unless you wanted to add anything. Okay. Did you want Nikki? Did you want me to close out with a song on the X after the live stream? Okay. Do you have anything in mind? Okay. All right, cool. All right. So, once again, thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Emoji. I'm here with my co host, Nikki G, OMW, and this has been another episode of Anime After Hours. We do this every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on X. Once again, this is an interactive podcast, so you as the audience can join in on the conversation. Just follow us at any of those handles that you see in the top corner and you can be a part of the show. But thank you once again for tuning in. Everyone that is on X, stick around because we'll play another song from our very own co host, Nikki G. But those that are on the stream, appreciate you for tuning in. Until next time, take care, be easy, and peace.